Michigan had another visitor as well, a transfer portal edition. And yes, the transfer portal's closed. Grad transfers can still go in. And an interesting corner from UMass, that's Don Brown coached UMass, Mike McCray as well. And I'm forgetting someone else is there as well.
Steve Kasula, I believe, is still there.
Good pull. That's correct. All right. So there's obviously some connections there. I've been trying to tell folks, I don't think Michigan is desperate for another corner.
Yeah.
It feels like a glaring hole because the team is so loaded. It's like, oh my God, here's a spot where someone doesn't have a ton of experience. That being said, I mean, we keep hearing just a couple days ago, Harbaugh once again saying he really likes Amarian Walker, thinks he's going to be CB2. We know Jaden McBurrows and Miles Pollard had good camps. We know Jair Hill, according to Jesse Minter, might be on a Will Johnson kind of path where he starts out CB4 or 5 and gets into the depth chart. That said, they know they have talent, but they are lacking some experience, and they love taking leadership in the portal. We've seen multiple guys like this, 4-year starter, 2-year captain in Josh Wallace. So I've been kind of referring to him as like a poor man's DJ Turner. He's definitely not as fast. He's a guy that does really good in press coverage, but can get snuck behind a little bit, especially if he doesn't have help over the top. Michigan's not promising him anything, but he was here for 2 days. He's been to Oklahoma, is at Virginia Tech right now, or at least was. Maybe he just finished up. They are promising him something almost explicitly that he would be CB1 on their team. So where does Michigan feel they are? They obviously didn't look to shut him down after the visit since he headed off to Virginia Tech. But where does Michigan think they are right now? I mean, we obviously don't know post this Virginia Tech visit, but while he was on campus, do they feel like they lead? Do they feel good about it?
Yeah, no, I think Michigan, I heard it from multiple people. They feel really good about where they sit for Josh Wallace coming out of the visit. I had one person inside Schembechler Hall tell me that Michigan leads explicitly leads for him. So, sometimes those that confidence is, well placed. Sometimes it's a little overstated, but I tend to believe that they have a really strong shot, and they really gave him something to think about. Obviously Virginia Tech is offering him, carte blanche of the cornerback duties. I mean, they're basically like, here, this room's yours, have at it. Yeah. And obviously Michigan isn't doing that at all, and they're not promising him anything. So, a lot of people are excited about him in the building, and they thought he was a great guy, a good culture fit.
Great fit.
I mean, obviously, if they're offering kids out of the portal, they feel like a kid's a culture fit. But you don't really know. You don't really know what a person's like until you get him on campus and see him in person. But I mean, there's plenty of excitement there. Michigan feels really good about their chances. I can't say officially that they're going to get him. I'm leaning towards, placing an official prediction sometime soon, whatever we do for transfers on our site, the fake transfer future cast that doesn't exist. But, I think I have to hear a little more in order to officially be able to, talk about it confidently, but it's definitely heading in the right direction. So as far as I understand, he's left Virginia Tech earlier today, and he will be deciding in a few days, I believe, sometime this week. So, we'll see. Again, I have to hear a little more. I'm not gonna sit here and say, hey, this is the greatest transfer portal addition ever. I think he's a solid depth piece that could crack the starting lineup, but he's not going to be guaranteed anything. A guy that's been a captain, is experienced, and I think that's what this position group needs. Corner is not talent, but leadership. And if you've 100%. Got both, perfect. Welcome aboard. But I think he'll provide a good culture fit for the locker room, for the position group in particular. He'll be really good. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say you've got the next, lockdown corner.
No, and I don't think that's what Michigan's looking for either. That's another thing I've kind of been reiterating. I've been saying for a while to fans, you don't need to freak out about the CB2 spot, because truthfully, Mike Saner's still a CB2.
Yeah, it's true.
Rod Moore is out there. They're going to utilize those guys. They're not taking Sainristil off the field for whoever CB2 is, right? So CB2 is probably more like CB3, arguably 4 again when you consider Rod Moore in coverage, right? They're not desperate, but they're also not going to pass up the chance to add somebody with experience, leadership, who, despite the defensive scheme change from Don Brown to obviously the Ravens amoeba defense we run now, in terms of what we ask of the corners in these defenses, it's a pretty similar setup. He's a really good fit.
Yep.
He is. If he doesn't come, they're totally good with who they have. If they do, the team got better. And that's how they've been treating the transfer portal.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to get better. They're not relying on it to fill massive holes. They don't consider it a massive hole. But yeah, I'll be interested. Everybody's motivated by different things, you know, so it'll be interesting to see what drives him in this decision. But yeah, I feel good with where Michigan is. And if he joins, I think it'd be a nice little piece to offset the loss of, you know, potentially Jamon Green. I think Jamon Green would have been a really good guy to have back this year in terms of that experience role. And I think that's kind of where I think he would plug in.